Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Ostomy Care with Angel Face Amy for episode 3. I'm Amy, your ostomy nurse, here to share tips, tricks, and education to help you feel confident on your ostomy journey. Today, we're talking about a question I get asked all the time. What's the difference between flat and convex barriers? And should you choose a one-piece or two-piece system? Let's break it down. Understanding flat versus convex barriers. First, choosing the right barrier is one of the most important parts of preventing leaks and protecting your skin. We're going to start with flat barriers. This is an example of a flat barrier. It sits directly against the skin. As you can see, it's very flat, and it works best for stomas that protrude at least a little bit from the skin. So my little trusty perfect example of a stoma here, you can see this one protrudes a significant amount from the skin. And you can see like the skin on my hand is very firm and hard. So if this is the way it was on your stomach, it would be very easy to put a flat barrier on and it would work well. But in reality, when you have a stoma on your stomach where your skin is much softer and has creases and folds, and the stoma might not be so well budded and perfect, then you might have to consider using a convex barrier. So a convex barrier this is an example of a convex barrier. This is an example of a two-piece convex barrier. So the difference here is that they have a gentle curve that helps push the skin down and create a better seal. It's perfect if your stoma is flush or even retracted. So you can see that if you push this down around the stoma, it would help it to pop up through the barrier because this would be pushing down on the skin directly next to the stoma. So that's how the convex barrier works. So if you're noticing leaks around your flat barrier, or if your stoma sits below skin level or at skin level, you might want to consider switching to a convex barrier. This can make a huge difference with preventing leaks. This is sort of what happens when you put a ring also right around a flat barrier. That also kind of creates a little bit of convexity to kind of help pop the stoma out a little bit. So if you're also, another thing that's important to consider is the depth of convexity. So you can tell that these are different. This is firmer and this is a deeper convexity, and this is a soft convexity actually. So this one, I actually really like this. It's a little bit newer. It's called soft convexity. So this one, you notice a flat barrier is extremely flexible. So it's gonna be more comfortable most likely because it's gonna fit on your skin. It's gonna bend with you. It's gonna move when you bend over. Whereas these convex ones, these two pieces too, they're much more rigid and you really can't flex them. But the soft convexity does have a little bit of give and flex. So it can kind of bend and move with you a little bit. So this is an example. It's not as deep. So it's less convex and it is soft. So this is a more rigid, deeper convexity. So you might want to talk to your ostomy nurse about which one is best for you to help you determine. But this soft convex is a good one to start with if you just want to try something different from your flat. It's a nice one to move to if you're having problems with leakage. Now we're going to talk about one piece versus two piece. So this is an example of a one-piece convex. This is an example of a one-piece flat. And then here is an example of a two-piece convex. And we also have two-piece flat as well. So the main difference is that you can take a two-piece pouch off of the barrier and leave this stuck on your skin, and you could like throw the pouch away and put a new pouch on. But I will say these two-piece ones, they, just like the convex ones, are more rigid. I mean, they flex and they give a little bit, but they are a lot more rigid than just the one piece. So like, for example, this one. This is very, very flexible. It can move in any crease. It could get in a fold, and you can get it adhered to your skin well. So one-piece systems have the pouch and barrier combined. They're great for simplicity, and they can feel a little lower profile under clothing. I usually start when I teach people who just got an ostomy in the hospital, I usually start with a one piece just because it's one less step. You don't have to attach the barrier to the pouch. So this does have a floating flange. You can put your finger underneath that floating flange there to snap this on, so you don't have to push on the abdomen. That makes it a little more comfortable for the patient. But I usually, like I said, I start with a one piece. I find it easier and more simple. It's especially good for people who don't have as good of dexterity. But then there's advantages to the two piece as well. Sometimes people want the flexibility to be able to change the pouch without removing the whole system. And in that case, that's where two pieces have their advantage. Also, two pieces are the ones that have the hooks for the ostomy belt. So if you need to use an ostomy belt, you need to use a two-piece appliance. One common question that I get is how often should you change your system? And for most people, changing the barrier every 3 to 5 days helps maintain healthy skin, but always follow whatever your ostomy nurse or your home health nurse or whoever recommends, because everybody is different. Some people have more liquid output, or some people have sweatier skin. Maybe it's the summer and you're more active and you might need to change it more often. So my advice is to try both of these, flat and, one piece and two piece. I think you should try one piece and two piece systems and figure out what works best for you and what is most comfortable, because everybody is different and what works for one person might not work for another. So don't be afraid to ask your ostomy nurse for samples. And if you're someone who likes to swim or exercise, there are special barrier extenders and adhesive products that can give you extra security. There's also something called a stealth belt, which is made out of like a neoprene material, and it kind of helps hold and protect the pouch as well. So what type of barrier system do you use? Share your experience in the comments, and your advice might help someone else. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ostomy Care with Angel Face Amy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your questions in the comments. Remember, this journey is all about finding what works best for you, and I'm here to help you every step of the way.